Welcome, friends and spiritual travelers, to another Mystic Owl Pick a Card reading. I am Mystic Owl, aka Nathan. Today's topic is, what do your colleagues or your co-workers think about you, and what do they love about you? So basically it's touching on the skills that you have that you're really good at, that you can bring to the workplace or your office, but also your personality traits that people may enjoy or like being around. So we have 5 piles today. We have pile number 1 with the shears or scissors. We have pile 2 with the man. Pile 3 with the mountain. Pile 4 with the snake. And finally, pile 5 with the stars and the octopus on it, but it is the stars. So, please use your intuition. Have a look over the piles again and see if any of the images sort of ignite something within you. Remember, this is a general reading, so take only that which resonates with you and leave the rest behind. And let's find out why your co-workers like you, and start with pile number 1. Welcome, pile 1 with the shears or the scissors, which is actually number 10, which reduces to 1. So instantly with this card, I see a very witty and intelligent individual with a very sharp tongue. You have the ability to draw upon your quick wit to make that smart or funny remark at any given time, just to put a smile on people's faces. I do see a very analytical and intelligent mind, somebody that's always processing things in their mind. You have the ability to really perceive people's personality traits quite quickly. You're always sort of assessing people, and I sense that your intuition picks up on people's personalities pretty quickly. So you know whether you can trust someone or not, or whether somebody's lying to you or not pretty quickly. I do sense that your colleagues and your co-workers are quite aware of that, though. So they probably make sure to always be, very honest and open with you, pile 1. I am also seeing a group that may be very good with their hands. It's very practical and handy. You may be very good at fixing things that are broken, or you may work in a trade, potentially running your own business as an entrepreneur. I'm picturing somebody that would be good as a carpenter or a plumber or something like that, or even a person that likes to bring out the beauty in other people. With the shears here, pile 1, I'm seeing a message of somebody that may own their own flower shop or like a beauty salon or something, as a hairdresser, or somebody that likes to bring out the beauty in other people. You see the good aspects of other people and like to make sure that people are aware of their own positive attributes. So you're very complimenting and very kind and courteous. You're that person that would bring little gifts to the workplace just to put a smile on people's faces. You may bake at home and bring a cake once a week, or just pick up something on the way to work to bring out the best in people and make sure the day is a little bit brighter. So instantly I see a group that people really enjoy being around, because you're very funny, very witty, you're very sharp and intelligent, but also just a very kind and generous individual that I see is probably a very good people person and works well in groups. But moving on from that, pile 1, let's see what your tarot cards have to say about what your colleagues or co-workers think about you. Your first card is the 7 of Wands in reverse. You have the 6 of Swords. And you have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. So what I see from those, pile one, I did mention a very intellectual and savvy individual, quick-witted, but highly analytical. Um, I get a really strong communicative vibe here. Someone that speaks very well, or that manages to command people's attention just by using your voice. There's something about your voice that people are drawn to, and when you start talking, everybody listens. But I am getting a really, really warm, loving vibe here too. So you've got the Three of Pentacles here, indicating that you love working with other people. You're a people person, along with the Seven of Wands in the reverse position, indicating to me that you don't like arguing with people. You don't like having to put your foot down or to tell people what they can and can't do. You like people to shine on their own right, and you like to bring out the best in other people. So you are someone that your colleagues and co-workers see as being a very good mentor. You have strong mentoring abilities. You can see what people are very good at and how they shine, but also you have the ability to see maybe their weaknesses. But not only that, you know how to communicate to them really softly and sweetly in order to sort of bring out the best in them, or to help them overcome certain challenges also. With the Six of Swords here, pile one, along with the scissors or the shears, you are someone that always likes to make sure that your colleagues or co-workers are both busy and satisfied with the work that they've got, but you make sure that people know that they can come to you if they have any questions or they need help on other things. I see a group that would make a great leader in a very corporate sense, or in a business sense. You may own your own business and be a boss for many people, but you're a very good boss or a very good leader, a very loving and kind, compassionate leader that is very approachable, and that likes to make sure that people know that they can come to you when they have questions about things. So your co-workers and your colleagues, pile one, think that you're a very approachable individual, that's very compassionate and understanding. If they have any problems outside of work too, they know that they can talk to you about it, and that you'll allow them to take time off if they need to deal with whatever issues they may have externally from work. But a group that is very, very people-minded, that likes to mentor younger individuals and help them see their own beauty in terms of what skills they have. And you're very complimenting also. You always give compliments on people's work when they do really, really well. I also see a very well-rounded individual too. So you're very fair in terms of how you delegate your work to other people in your workplace if you are a leader or a boss. But this is also a group that avoids conflict. You are very conflict averse, pile one, I see. Even though you have a very witty mind and a very sharp tongue, you can bring out a joke to make people laugh and feel at ease around you. You're someone that does not like to make anybody feel less than. You like people to feel important and loved and welcome around you. With your strong perceptive skills, your analytical mind, and your strong people skills, pile one, you have the ability to resolve conflict by being the mediator in a conflict. You can make sure that people sort of calm down and see things from other people's perspectives, and find that sort of happy place, that happy medium where both parties are happy with the outcome. So this is a group that's very people-oriented in terms of how you communicate to other people, how you lead other people, making sure that everyone is happy in the workplace and has the work that they want, but also wanting to bring out the best in people and put a smile on people's faces with your sharp wit, but the way that you treat them and the gestures that you give too. Nice. Moving on, you had the blue dragon from the Pleiades. Prepares you to accept source healing, accept a heart activation, give and receive heart healing. There you go. Very loving and warm. You may do really, really well in like a a job where you are of service to other people, or where you try to bring out the best in other people, as I mentioned earlier. So a group of that may do well in like nursing or counseling, being of service potentially in hospitality, or even just in the workplace. You might be like the HR coordinator, or that person that is like the counselor that helps people through certain challenges at work. And you also have groundhog spirit, time to let go, with the groundhog holding a heart, which is really cute, I think. And you have the brown bear spirit, take time out. So what I am also seeing from those three cards, Part 1, I did mention just a really loving, compassionate individual to start with, which I'm going to reiterate with the blue dragon from Pleiades here, and the groundhog spirit holding the heart. Very down-to-earth, compassionate, warm, generous individual. A very fair and just individual. People see you as always wanting to make sure that everyone is happy in the workplace, but not because you want to people please, but because that's just your personality. It's just who you are authentically. But with the brown bear spirit, take time out. I just see like that mothering, nurturing vibe. You are that leader that likes to care for other people's needs too. Pile 1, you also have here the groundhog spirit, time to let go. Brown bear spirit, take time out. So once again, I see that you have that ability to just know intuitively when people aren't doing so well and they need a break from work. You might come up to them and just see how they're going, touch base with them and check in to see if they're okay. But if you are a boss or a leader, or even just a mentor to some degree, you have that ability to just tell them that maybe taking a break is what they need, or asking if they need some assistance. You intuitively know when people are struggling at work, and your co-workers and colleagues love that about you, because they know that not only they can go to you if they need help, but that you will look after them too. You look out for them also. You're like the mother bear of the group, of your workplace, that puts a smile on people's face. With the groundhog spirit, so it reminds me of the movie Groundhog Day, with, I can't think of the actor's name, with Andie MacDowell. I can think of her name, but I can't think of his name. And Bill Murray, there it is. Where Bill Murray is constantly in the loop of having to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. So I see someone that is very disciplined at work too. You're very structured. You want your day to be sort of in the same format day in, day out. You want to know what's going to happen next. And I think your coworkers and colleagues find you very reliable, that they know that they can come to you also if they need some more structure in their work, or suggestions on how to make things better. But a strong healing vibe here too. With the blue dragon from the Pleiades, the groundhog spirit holding a heart. The Six of Swords here going from rocky waters into the calmer waters here. And the Seven of Wands in reverse, all indicating to me that you are conflict averse, but also would do really well in like a healing modality. So being a doctor, definitely strong like psychology or counseling vibes I'm picking up on. You like to be of service to others, Pile 1, for sure. Then moving on from that, let's get some further messages from the Moonology card. Even though you're very witty, sharp-tongued, quick-witted, Pile 1, you're also very grounded, down to earth, very practical too. So you have that nice balance of being funny, humorous, warm and free-spirited, but very dedicated and practical, and just always knowing what is the best solution in any situation. And your two Moonology cards, pile one. You have the new moon in Scorpio, work through your fears. And you have the waning moon. What do you need to release? So what I am getting from those cards is that people can see that you don't always have it easy. Even though you put on a happy, smiling face and a very vibrant, quick-witted, you enjoy a laugh, they see that you may struggle sometimes at work, or that in your past you have struggled. But you do really well with stress. You're very good at working through stress. When you're in very stressful situations and work is really high-paced, you're very quick-witted and just know how to get through it quite easily. Or you remain very composed under very stressful situations. You don't lose your shit too easily. It takes a lot to make you sort of lose control at work. You have the ability to stay composed and to think very logically, analytically about what the best situation is or how to get through a challenging situation. And I also see that even though you might be very conflict averse, you can do the hard tasks when needed. With the scorpion here in the new moon in Scorpio, and the scissors, the shears, that if you need to make that harsh decision or to be that person that tells it like it is, or cuts things off when it needs to be done, that you have the ability to do that too. So you're highly reliable. People respect you because you're disciplined in your approach to work, but they can also see that you will make the big calls when needed for the greater good. So you have a lot to offer, pile one. Fun-loving, free-spirited, witty, intelligent, analytical, but you see through the bullshit and you know how to make sure that everybody else is doing well. You know how to allocate tasks evenly and fairly, but make those big calls that need to be made when things aren't going well too. I hope that resonated with you, pile one. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile two. Hello, pile two, with the man card, number 28, which might be the age of this man. He's very young, I think. He looks very fresh-faced. That beard hasn't come in properly yet. I also see in the background of this card what looks to be like a church or some sort of cathedral, which indicates to me that it reminds me of like the Hierophant card of, I guess, religious or spiritual discipline, somebody that's very disciplined in their approach, and the man being associated with the divine masculine, standing in your power, going after things as opposed to being passive and allowing things to come to you like the divine feminine. So quite assertive. You may be very assertive in the way that you work, or very disciplined in your approach to work. So your co-workers and colleagues see you as a very structured individual, but because you've got the young man here, I see that you're quite flexible too, that even though that you like to do things your own way, and probably like to be very disciplined in your approach day to day about how you achieve your work, do things at certain times, or write a list potentially when you start your day. You're very flexible. If somebody comes to you and asks you to help or give a lending hand, I sense that you're willing to change your day to be able to help other people, or to take on a new task, or to change the approach of whatever it is that you're doing if the need is required to do that. Yeah. But anyway, moving on. Let's have a look at your tarot cards, pile 2, and see what your colleagues or co-workers think about you, or what they think are your strengths. Oh, your first card is Justice in reverse. You have the 5 of Wands. And you also have the Page of Wands. Okay. So firstly, 2 Wands cards, the 5 of Wands and the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands kind of reminds me of the man here. That young, free-spirited energy. Your colleagues and co-workers can sense a real passion or desire to achieve great things, pile 2. You come to work every day really energized and willing to put in 100%. You really want to achieve big things, and whatever it is that you're doing as a career or your job. You give your all day in, day out. There's a lot of like fresh energy here, a lot of power too, vibrant, powerful energy. Not only in your approach to work, but in just your day-to-day activities, how you go about your work also. I do get the sense here with the boys sort of play fighting, and the 5 of Wands, along with the Page of Wands, and the man looking very young, that you're very playful too. You have a very playful vibe about how you go about work. You like things to be fun, so you make your day as fun as possible, and like your colleagues and co-workers to have a lot of fun also. So if you can do something, you'll make sure that you can do it with a lot of energy, vivacity, and bring out the best in each activity. If you can make a mundane activity fun in any way, you'll find a way to do that, whether it be through just being playful, or with some funny remarks, or actually making a game out of certain tasks potentially. But I also see a group that does not stand for any injustice at work. You do not tolerate bullying. You have the Justice card in reverse here, along with the 5 of Wands. Actually, all cards really indicating to me that you're very powerful. You have a lot of power anyway. And if you see somebody being bullied, or if you feel that work hasn't been disseminated evenly or fairly, you'll stand up for your own beliefs, or speak out for what you think is unjust. So you really protect your co-workers and colleagues too. Not only are you very friendly and fun-loving, but you want to make sure that everybody feels at peace at work, that work can be somewhere that everyone is equal. You're all about equality, pile 2. I am picking up on strong like Leo vibes here, in terms of wanting the best for everyone, to put a smile on the face of everybody around you, and being very playful and energized. I also see, pile 2, a group that, regardless of your age, you might be older than 28 maybe, people see you as being that person that can bring a different approach to a work situation. You have the ability to see things from a different perspective, because you have fresh eyes. You bring fresh eyes and new energy to a work situation. So you may be able to see how things can be done more efficiently, or to suggest how things can change so that things are better, or that are more evenly dispersed between everyone around in the workplace, or something like that. But a group that's not afraid to stand up for your own rights or your own thoughts. You tell people what you think, pile 2. But to also stand up for the needs of your co-workers and colleagues. You want to make sure that everyone at work is feeling safe and happy, and is having a lot of fun. But moving on from that, let's have a look at your oracle cards. You had the fox spirit, think on your feet. Oh, you have the panther spirit, number 44. Reclaim your power. And you also have the royal blue and gold dragon. Strengthens you to stand in your power with wisdom. Awaken to your own majesty. Okay, there you go, like Leo the lion. Wear your cloak of power with pride. So yes, I'm going to reiterate strong like Leo vibes here. You may have like strong Leo placements in your chart. Sun, Moon, or Rising in your 4th house, 10th house, 11th house. So possibly your North Node might be in Leo. Also in, potentially in your 3rd house of the community and what you bring to the community in terms of your workplace. Anyway. But lots of fire here, lots of power. You're very direct in your approach to your colleagues. You tell people what you think. You're a go-getter, you're very inspired. A lot of energy too. You bring a lot of energy to any activity at work. And I sense that you don't like to spend a lot of time talking things through. You just want to get out there and get things done. This is a group that would really do well, I see, in like construction. Or potentially in a trade of just using your hands and being able to put things together. Or in a work environment, if you are in a corporate environment, if you're in a meeting, you like the meeting to be very efficient. You get through each bullet point very quickly and make sure that you have the resolution that you want, that everyone agrees on very quickly. You don't like sitting around talking about stuff that you feel is kind of wasting time. You're a go-getter and like things to be done as fast as possible and as most efficient as possible, pile too. But a group that also does really, really well with pressure too. If there's a lot of pressure at work, if you're under a lot of stress, you have the ability, like pile 1, to think on your feet very quickly and to come up with the best solution. You don't let things get to you. You're very sharp-minded and think clearly under pressure, which is a very commendable trait, pile 2. You avoid conflict here and just want to get things done in the most efficient and practical method possible. Let's get 2 cards from the Moonology deck for you, pile 2. You may be very new to your workplace, as in compared to other colleagues or co-workers who haven't been there as long as they have. But regardless of that, people can see that you're going to go a long way very soon. Oh my God, the first card that came out is Full Moon in Leo. I love it when that stuff happens in tarot. Can you believe that? Full Moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. Okay. So the word pride there has come out twice. Along with the royal blue and gold dragon, it says here, wear your cloak and power with pride. You also have the full moon in Libra with the scales there. So the Justice card in reverse is ruled by Libra. Lots of synchronicity in this reading, also with the 44 there, and the Panther spirit. A win-win outcome is forecast. Excellent. So that really reiterates to me a group that people just see as always, things work out for you always for the best. People think that you're going to go a long way. With the full moon in Leo here, along with the scales indicating instant success or that you are destined for success anyway, people can see like a a leader or something emerging from you, pile 2, that just shows that you will achieve big things in this life. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, you're going to go a long way with it. You're destined for success, kind of like Sagittarius too. Lots of fire energy. You know where you want to go and you're determined to get there, and your co-workers and colleagues really find that really commendable. They like that in you. You have a lot of drive and you bring out the best in other people because of it. But as I mentioned earlier, you don't stand for injustice at work either. With the full moon in Libra here with the scales and the justice card in reverse, along with the 5 of wands, if you see like a battle going on at work, or somebody being bullied, or people having an argument, you'd like to get in and stop the argument and make sure that you can resolve the issue. You have very good people skills too, and being able to resolve conflict and knowing what the best outcome is. The only thing I can say that might be a little bit of a downer, pile 2, is that just make sure that you don't get too cocky. Don't let pride get in your way. And also with the blue and gold dragon here, where you're cloaked with pride, you have a lot of power, you have a lot of enthusiasm, you're very fun-loving, but try not to get too cocky or to show off with your skills too much. You might be a little too overconfident sometimes. But this is a very confident individual. All of these cards really indicating a lot of self-awareness, a lot of confidence, just lots of fire here and lots of determination. You'd also do very well in like a corporate environment that is associated with law or bringing out the best in other people. So I see a group that would do really well as like a policeman or a law enforcement agent, potentially like a lawyer or a counselor. Somebody that likes to make sure that things are fair and just and you follow the rules, pile 2. This is a group that is a stickler for the rules. You like to make sure that things go by the book. But you have the ability to see things from a different perspective if you need to change the way that you approach your work also. That's all I have for you, pile 2. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 3. Hello, pile 3 with the Mountain card. I just noticed you've got number 21, 2 and 1 making 3. Excellent. What I see with the Mountain card, very grounded individual. I see a very practical individual, someone that is very practical in your approach to work. You might work in a field that is very earthy, so like labor potentially, working outdoors, something to do with gardening or like building or construction. If you are in a corporate environment, I sense that you do well working with like computers or engineering. I see potentially as a nice career path for you. But most definitely a very practical individual, but highly reliable too, like the mountain that barely moves. You're always there. You're someone that people can always rely on to give the best advice, or to give them a lending hand when they need some help with something, or to always be at work, to show up day in, day out, to be that reliable individual that's always there, that people can rely on, that they know you will always be there to give the best day in, day out, basically. Very disciplined in your approach to work. Work is a priority for you, pile 3, in your life. It's something that is up there as one of the highest priorities. You put it above like play or your own time. I see a group that's very dedicated to work and might spend a lot of hours actually at work or taking work home too, because you enjoy your work. Whatever it is that you do, you enjoy it. So you dedicate yourself to your work, I sense, pile 3. But let's see what your colleagues think about you and what they like about you, pile pile 3, by looking at your tarot cards. Your first card is the Four of Swords. You're the Two of Pentacles. Oh, and you have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So instantly, just want to reiterate, lots of earth energy here. So you've got the mountain related to the earth, being solid, grounded, practical, reliable. You've got the Queen of Pentacles here, as well as the Two of Pentacles, lots of earth energy. So that really really strengthens my resolve that you are a very grounded, practical, reliable individual. And the Queen of Pentacles is an indication to me that you actually do thoroughly enjoy your job. So the Queen of Pentacles is the archetype of having everything that she wants in reality. She's got a great job. She has the money she needs. She has a house over her head, and she's paid the mortgage. She can buy the groceries and look after the kids and her family. Like, she has everything that she needs. So I sense that your job is something that you actually thoroughly enjoy. It's a career for you, and it's something that you like spending time on. And you do also have the ability, I see here, to be able to like juggle more than one task at once, pile 3. So this is a group that is very dedicated to work, very practical in your approach to work. But it's also very flexible too. You can manage more than one task at one time. So I see this being a group that would do very well in like management, or in engineering, having multiple tasks to look after at one activity one time, along with the mathematical equations and looks like geometry, I think, in the mountain card. So you may be very highly intelligent. You may have done well at maths at school. Your colleagues and co-workers see you as being that person that they can go to help manage tasks, or to get an idea on how to resolve an issue that they can't see the answer to. I also am picking up on a very analytically minded person here, along with the Four of Swords, indicating a strong intellect and a strong analytical mind. So definitely you would do well in science, I see. Pile 3. Engineering. In like the medical field also, potentially. The man in the Two of Pentacles sort of looks like he's wearing like a medical coat or a lab coat to me. So anything to do with technology or science, potentially, is a field that you do really well at. And it's a field that you excel at, and a field that you love. This is something that you enjoy doing. But in terms of your personality and what your colleagues love about you, you also manage to have the ability to always be calm and compassionate at work. You don't let anything faze you too much. You're someone that people can approach if they're really having some strife with their own work. If other people are feeling really stressed, they come to you to help manage their workload, or to get an idea about how they can resolve a certain solution. You have the ability to see things from a different perspective. You're highly organized too. This is a very practical and organized group. So you know how to prioritize your tasks really well, especially with the Two of Pentacles here. You can see which priority is most important, and manage your time very well also. You have the insight and the practicality to come up with the best solution for them at any given time, pile 3. I also see here, with the man looking at the top pentacle in the Two of Pentacles, along with the Four of Swords, and also the woman with the pentacle in her hands, I do see like strong sort of clairvoyant vibes here. I'm getting, I'm picking up on a group that may have some sort of like a strong intuition or be very insightful into other people's problems and other people's needs. So not only are you approachable and compassionate and have the ability to really find the solution to any problem and to help people by being able to manage their own tasks, but this is also a group similar to pile 1 that can really pick up on when other people are struggling in their own right. You're highly intuitive and perceptive, pile 3. You can tell when people need a hand, or maybe if they're bored and they want something else to do. If you're a boss at work, you can tell when somebody is just feeling a bit underwhelmed with the work they have, and maybe know when to give over some more work to them that might be more challenging or inspiring. I see a group that would make a great mentor too. You work well with other people, and I sense that because with the Queen of Pentacles here, along with the man sort of juggling multiple orbs or multiple challenges and tasks at work, that you have the ability to like mentor other people really well at work too. So you may be in a position of power or of leadership, or just like sort of helping out younger staff members so that they can become better at their tasks. And you're very encouraging and warm in your approach to dealing with other people. Finally, I also see a group that has the ability to really like take some time out when needed to think about the best solution. With the mountain here, along with the all of the geometric shapes and the mathematical symbols, and the 4 of Swords indicating taking some time to rest and contemplate, this is a group that likes to think about the best possible approach to work first. If you have a challenge at work, you'll take some time out and take a few days to think about what you need to do so that you can be very methodical and practical about resolving certain issues. Your co-workers just see you as a very reliable, dedicated, approachable colleague that likes to give a hand, that likes to impart your own wisdom and insight so that you can ensure that they're getting the best out of themselves in their own work, pile 3. Well, struggling with my words, sorry. Moving on. Onto your oracle cards. Oh. You have the Mouse Spirit. Tend to the small things. Okay. As I said earlier, you prioritize work, but also know how to like really be really practical and like focused and disciplined. So tending to the small things for me indicates that you like to make lists, or don't let things slide. You make sure that every aspect of each project is ticked off properly. You don't skip tasks either. Very dedicated and like to stick to the very true and trialed approach to things. You also have the Koala Spirit. Spirit has a plan. Right, cute. So that to me has 2 messages. Spirit has a plan, indicating that you always like to be well organized and planned. You like to have a plan to your approach to work. Make sure that each day you know what you're doing when you get to work. If there is a challenge, you like to think about it and come up with the best plan to resolve the issue. But the koala to me is a very compassionate and loving individual, very warm and cuddly, like the Queen of Pentacles. So you are a very approachable, loving, warm individual. People find you very approachable too, pile 3. Your colleagues and co-workers aren't afraid of you. They enjoy your company. They can go and talk to you whenever they want. And you are someone that likes to like impart wisdom and insight into how to do things differently or what the best outcome is. And your final card is the Green Gold Dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. Okay. So you're a very people-oriented person too, pile 3. I am picking up on the green here too, the green gold dragon from Sirius, along with the mountain card here and the strong earth energy in this reading. You may have strong earth placements in your birth chart, so sun, moon, or rising. I get strong Virgo vibes from this group, actually, in terms of being very analytical and very disciplined in their approach to work, hardworking and grounded. But with the green gold dragon from Sirius, it says here, be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. You like to mentor and help other people. You may do really well in teaching also. And spiritual technology, someone that does work, that does well in like the technological fields, in mathematics or science. I also see someone that's very sort of shy or quiet. You're highly approachable. People find you very friendly and warm and compassionate and easy to talk to, but you're not someone that has, I sense, like the biggest personality, pile 3. You keep to yourself, or you don't like to speak out a lot, pile 3, or to evoke a lot of emotion at work. You like your day to be very organized and very low key, I sense. Moving on from that, let's have a look at the Moonology cards and see what we can get from that in terms of what your colleagues think about you, what they love about you. Ooh. Ah. Oh, okay. So your first card is the new moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate, which really reminds me of the Four of Swords there. In terms of always wanting to make sure that you know what the best outcome is or how to achieve the best outcome. You like to think about your work first, are very practical in your approach. You don't rush into things, pile 3. You will take time out to come up with the best approach to your work, and are very methodical in your approach to work, as I mentioned earlier. But also Pisces being a very compassionate sign too. This is a group that is very loving and warm. You may not have the biggest personality or be the loudest like colleague in the workplace, but you are definitely one of the most highly regarded because of your compassion and your warmth and your love for other people. Someone that's always willing to give a lending hand, and to point out how things can be better too. But you also have here, touching on that, the same concept, full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome is forecast. Librans are the just archetype of the zodiac. They always make sure that their values are at the forefront of everything that they do. They like to stand up for what they believe in. You may not be the most vocal, but you definitely are a very fair and warm person. And balancing the scales with the Two of Pentacles, this is also a group that can handle many tasks at one time. A good multitasker. So your colleagues and your co-workers know that you have the skills to multitask in terms of taking on many challenges at once, but also prioritizing work, and knowing what's most important. A very dedicated, disciplined, flexible, approachable, loving, warm, compassionate, and organized individual, pile 3. That's all I have for you. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 4. Welcome, pile 4, with the snake card, number 7. Just remembering that this is all about what people like about you at work, and your strengths, what your colleagues and co-workers think about you and love about you. With the snake side, I see that you have a very sharp wit, a very witty tongue. snakes are generally associated with someone that has a very sharp tongue that knows how to just cut people down pretty quickly. But I sense that you just have that ability to come up with a witty remark or that funny remark whenever you need, similar to pile one in that aspect. So highly intelligent too, very sharp, very perceptive. But also with snakes shedding their skin, somebody that doesn't hold on to grudges too much or can move on from unpleasantness at work if things don't work out very well, or you have an argument with someone, or maybe you get some negative critiques or something, there's an issue with the client, something like that. You can really move on from it quite quickly and get back to being, I guess, your normal dedicated sort of happy-go-lucky, witty, intelligent, sharp-witted individual is what I'm picking up on. Yeah. But let's get some more insight, Pile, for about what your co-workers and colleagues think about you by looking at your tarot cards. Oh, your first card is the Queen of Cups. You have the Nine of Swords. Okay. And you have the Sun card. Lovely. Right, so instantly what I see for you, pile 4, with the Queen of Cups and the Sun card, somebody that is generally emotionally balanced, emotionally sort of stable, basically. You like to put on a very happy disposition and be very sort of loving and happy and joyful. You put on a smile day in, day out, and a very chatty and communicative, like bringing out the best in other people too. I do see a group though potentially that does stress a little bit sometimes, but as I mentioned earlier with snake and being able to shed that skin, you move on from any trials at work pretty quickly and get back to being the archetype of the Queen of Cup and being emotionally balanced. So this was a group that also I see can see the silver lining in certain challenges too. If in whatever work situation you're in, if things aren't going so well, if maybe some colleagues, if you're having a fight with some colleagues, or there's some conflict at work, potentially there's a lot of work and you're stressed, or there's some issues with certain clients or something like that, you have the ability to see like the brighter side of every situation. You're a very optimistic individual too here with the Queen of Cups. You bring a lot of optimism to work. You manage to overcome any anguish or grief or stress pretty quickly, and try to bring out that with other people. You're very optimistic and can see like the best outcome in certain situations. So if things aren't going so well, you can always pick up on like why it's a blessing to some degree that you are going through certain challenges, like what you're learning from it and what the opportunities are that are coming out of it. So your colleagues and co-workers see you as a really sunny, vibrant personality that has a very optimistic disposition, which is really nice, I think, powerful. This is a very protective group too, with snakes being very protective of their young, and like guarding their eggs too. With the Queen of Cups here, this is a group that's like the mother archetype at work. You like to make sure that everyone is feeling okay, that everyone's happy. You don't like to see anybody feeling under the weather or being bombarded by too much work or feeling stressed or anything like that. You check in with people regularly to make sure that they're doing okay. So this is a group that would do really well as like a compassionate leader. You do well in like HR, being a people person or a coordinator. Or something to do with being of service to other people. Either through like hospitality potentially, or maybe working in medicine somehow, either a doctor or a nurse, or in counseling or something like that, where you can impart like wisdom and also a helping hand to other people. If you work in a corporate environment, you're also one of those people that is quite willing to take on more than one task and take on somebody else's work when they're feeling overwhelmed with work too. You just like everyone to be very happy and vibrant, just like yourself, pile 4. I also see a group that likes to work outdoors too. The reason I say that is because the Queen of Cups there looks like she's standing outdoors on the beach, and you also have the Sun card. So you may do well in a workplace that sees you working outdoors, sort of in gardening, or any work activity really that could take you outdoors a lot, like doing a lot of travel potentially also. You like to take a break regularly during the day to refresh your mind and get outdoors so that you're not always cooped up at work all the time. You know how to manage your tasks well, pile 4, so that you're not too stressed, and you sort of encourage other people to manage their tasks well also. But a very protective, motherly, caring and sunny disposition that sees the bright side in any challenge. And your co-workers and colleagues really love that about you. They find that very endearing, essence pile 4. Moving on to your oracle cards. You have the wolf spirit. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Okay. You have the hummingbird spirit. Be here now. And you have the rainbow dragon. I've never seen this card before, actually. Brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. Right. Have trust. Rediscover wisdom. Expect miracles. Accept opportunities. All right, there you go. So just reiterating on the fact that you like to make sure that everyone's doing okay at work and are quite willing to take on more work if needed to help other people out. You give a lending hand to anybody else that's sort of overwhelmed with work or feeling sort of weighed down and stressed potentially. You always see the bright side of things too. So the rainbow and the sun emerging from the clouds indicates that really warm, sunny disposition that's optimistic and that can see the benefits through every challenge. But also there's a strong calling about being of wisdom here and having a lot of knowledge to impart on other people. This is a group that would do well as a mentor also, as a leader, in terms of developing the skills in other people, or being a teacher to some degree, maybe either at school or at university, but also a teacher at work, mentoring and helping other people develop their own skills and develop their own personalities at work. And with the ability to move on quickly from any challenge or any heartbreak, you can really sort of instill that in other people and encourage other people to be emotionally balanced and to not let things sort of get them down. Like, just to remember that work is just work, and it's not the be all or end all in life. The hummingbird spirit, along with the rainbow dragon and the sun card, really indicates to me that you have a lot of time to give to other people. You like to be of service to other people too, whether that be through the work that you do or just at work in general, through being very kind and compassionate, checking in with other people. This is also a group like Pile 1 that probably does a lot of like nice gestures at work, that brings in sort of donuts or a nice treat at like morning tea time for everyone to eat, that likes to give praise and recognition to those people that are doing really well, that checks in with people that are struggling to make sure that they can get through the day okay. Yes, a very loving, protective individual that just wants the best for everyone at work. And your co-workers can see that in you, and they love that about you, Pile 4. And finally, let's get some further messages for you from the Moonology deck. But also, just reiterating, a very intellectual individual with the snake there and the ability to be very witty and quick-witted. The Nine of Swords related to your mind and your intellect. And the cards indicating turning knowledge into wisdom. This is a very experience. You give off the air of having a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge that you want to impart onto other people. As long as you don't sort of ruminate on things too much, and I sense that you don't, or you've learned not to, powerful. But in the past, maybe with the hummingbird spirit and the wings flapping a lot, and the Nine of Swords there indicating like anxiety or stress, I do sense that sometimes in the past you may have allowed things to get on top of you, or you had like some stressful situations in your work environment, but you've managed now to like realize that work is not meant to be, is not the be all or end all in life, that getting stressed at work is just not really worth it, that there's more important things to worry about. You're now generally the archetype of the Queen of Cups, who's in control of her emotions and just loves being of service to others. Ooh. And your two cards, Power 4, you have the new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead, right? And you also have the waning moon. What do you need to release? And what I am picking up from those two cards is that sunny disposition of always being very like optimistic, prosperity lying ahead. You manage to see the good in any bad situation. You have the ability to change people's perspectives on what may not be working out or what isn't good for them, to actually being able to see the benefits of any troubling or trialing situations. You always know that tomorrow is another day and that you will get through any challenges at work or trials. Because you've had to overcome these challenges in your past too. I sense this is a group that hasn't always had it easy at work, that may have changed careers a lot, trying to find what it is that you really want to do. But now you're in a career, whatever that may be for you, where you actually love what you do, where you're happy going to work every day, where it brings you a lot of joy and satisfaction, because you're able to like impart your own wisdom onto other people, share what you've been through in your past also, and just encourage people to always do their best, but to not stress too much, that there's more important things than stressing at work in life. A group that would do really well in like the healing modalities, I sense also. But most definitely a loving individual that sees like the beauty in other people and wants them to see that in themselves also. That's all I have for you, Pile 4. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to Pile 5. Hello, Pile 5. With the stars, number 16. Might be a cliche, but I get a very dreamy energy from you. Very light, fun-loving. You go with the flow a lot. Don't necessarily have to have a plan in your approach to work. You just sort of do what you need to do when you need to do it, and you're quite flexible, I sense too. With the octopus here and the 8 legs. Strong multitasking abilities. Being able to manage multiple sort of tasks or activities at once. Almost a jack of all trades. The person that can sort of just do anything in your work environment. People know that you have many skills that you can bring to the team. Now let's have a look at your tarot cards to get an idea about what your colleagues and co-workers think about you and your skills at work. Pile 5, if I can pick the cards up. The first card you have is the Page of Swords. Well, you have the hanged one, or the Hanged Man in reverse. You also have the Devil card in reverse. Interesting. Okay. So you have 2 major arcana. Not that that really matters in terms of how you approach work, really. I just am still picking up on a very airy, free-loving, floating vibe. So the Hanged one, or the Hangman in reverse, indicates to me that you don't get too caught up on things. That you have the ability to see what works and doesn't work. This is a group that doesn't mind having to take time to work out what the best option is. If you're asked to do something new, this is a group that doesn't stress too much about not knowing how to do something, that knows that they have the skills within them to be able to do whatever they want, or to take on something new. But you also know that sometimes you may need to take a little bit of time to work out what the best approach is, or to get to see how things will work for you anyway, even if your approach to dealing with a new task is different to how most people will do it. You have confidence in your own abilities to try something new, Pile 5, and just know that it'll probably work out for you. This is the most eclectic group, I sense. You're that individual that's a little unique and quirky. You think differently to most people, and your colleagues and co-workers are aware of that you're a little different. You may dress differently. You may be the one at the corporate office that wears the really colorful tie, or you have a different dress sense. The stories you tell may be very insightful and very witty, or just very unique. You have a different sense of humor, I sense, but you also think differently. The way that you process things is quite unique. So your co-workers and colleagues may come to you to lay fresh eyes on a new challenge, or to try and see a different approach into dealing with something that they've never seen before. This is also a group that doesn't mind taking a little bit of time, I sense, working out what the best approach is, because you know that you have the insight and the ability to see things differently. The Devil card also is related to the star sign of Capricorn in the zodiac. Capricorns are very practical and very grounded in their approach to achieving their goals. They're very hardworking and very disciplined and reliable. But when it's in reverse, I sense that you're quite okay with not knowing day in, day out what you're going to be doing. You're a very flexible individual, and you go with the flow. So if there's an emergency that arises at work and someone says, "Oh, we need your help on this," you're like, "Yeah, okay, that's fine, I'll do it now." Or you have the ability to be able to stop and look at the bigger picture, I sense, Pile 5, and see what the best thing is to do, and not to rush into things like most other people. You don't necessarily need to follow the book or the guidebook on how to undertake certain tasks. You're okay with sort of fumbling your way through it, because you know that you'll always achieve your goal and you'll always get to the destination. And I think your co-workers are learning that that's just part of who you are, and that it's okay for you to do that, because they know that you are successful and that you will achieve your goals. that there's many different ways to get to one outcome. I am picking up on a very analytical mind here too. The stars indicating to me that you have an expansive consciousness, along with the Page of Swords related to your intellect and your mind. This is a highly intellectual group. I do see a lot of like Aquarian vibes here, is what I'm picking up on. Someone that sees outside of the box and see things differently. Your approach to life and your approach to your work, your approach to how you deal with your day-to-day tasks is quite unique. Very flexible and very open-minded, Power 5. But someone that doesn't need to get caught up in the finer details, like, there's an expression, the devil is in the details. That's not who you are at all, Power 5. If you can skip certain tasks and still have the same result, then you're that person, that like efficiency is all about doing things as fast as possible. Even though you may need some time originally to take time out to work out what approach you want to take to get to a certain destination, once you make your mind up, there's no stopping you. You want to get in and try it and see how it goes. But what I do see here also is a deep thinker. So I've touched on the stars and the Page of Swords about your analytical mind, but with the octopus being underwater from like the depths, this is someone that thinks very deeply, that I sense is probably very intelligent. You may be in like into research, or you may be into medicine or science or technology too. This is a group that would do really, really well in like the technological fields, into IT or into software development or something like that. Because you're very analytical, you're very intelligent, but also you like to try different ways of doing things to see if other ways work out also. So I sense that you do really well in like software development or something like that. With the Devil card in reverse also, I see someone that generally likes to always be kind and compassionate. You try not to get involved in conflict or to get bogged down with with small chit chat. You like to get on with your work and make sure that like the people around you have the same mindset, that you're all very focused on your tasks. But you do that in a very like loving approach too. You're not short or abrupt at all, Essence Power 5, but just very determined to get in and to achieve your goals. Yeah, okay. Let's see what else your colleagues think about you with your Oracle cards. Ooh. You have the Porcupine Spirit. Time for beginner mind. Okay, there you go. Bringing that fresh new outlook on how to achieve something. Oop. You have the Deer Spirit. Bring a gentle touch. Right. And your final card is a Fire and Water Dragon. Enables your life to flow with loving force. Prepare for change and move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected. Have fun. I think that's probably a motto in your life there, right there, Power 5. You do really well with the unexpected. You actually thrive in the unexpected. When there's challenges at work, you get excited because it's something new. You can try a new approach to resolving the issues at work. If you're given a new task, you get excited about it because you're expanding your consciousness. You get to like bring in a different perspective and see if your way of doing something is the best way. That brings you a lot of satisfaction and excitement. But I did mention also with the Devil card in reverse, a loving individual, someone that doesn't like to get bogged down with any like issues at work, or what's the word I'm after? any gossip or anything like that. You have no time for any bullshit, basically. Um, you're very dedicated to your work and like to focus on your work, so you don't have time for any of that smaller chit chat or stuff that isn't relevant. And I see that also with the deer spirit, deer as in like being very sweet. I know that's spelled differently, um, but you bring that soft approach, the soft touch. You have a very loving, soft, humanitarian aspect to you. I do pick up on very Aquarian vibes here. Aquarians think outside of the box, but are all about being of service to humanity. They're very giving with their time and very warm and affectionate. And for you, pile 5 also, similar to pile 2, I think it was, if you're not having fun at work, then for you there's no point. Like, in whatever field that you're in, and I did pick up on a very analytical group, but regardless of that, work for you needs to be fun. If you're not enjoying yourself, then this is a group that can really like change jobs and do well and adapt well to any environment. So you're at work because you choose to be at work, because you have a lot of fun there. It brings out the best in you. You're challenged, you're excited, and you have the ability to really like radiate that out and spread that with your work colleagues. You may be quite quirky and unique and different to most other people, but people enjoy that fresh outlook, that new perspective, that beginner mind that is always enthusiastic to try something new and to take on a new challenge. Finally, for you, pile 5, let's get some further insight into how your colleagues see you, what they think about you from the Moonology cards. Very insightful group too. Even though you might be quite unique and different, and you're not afraid or ashamed of that, I think you revel in that actually. Pile 5, you revel in the fact that you're different to most people, but you're very perceptive on other people's personalities and potentially what people are thinking or feeling. And the reason I say that is because you've got the Hanged Man there staring at the moon, along with the Page of Swords. You're able to like see into the psyche of other people or to get an idea of what they're feeling or thinking at certain times. You're very perceptive and things don't get by you very quickly. A sharp mind, a very intellectual, sharp mind. Just like the porcupine with those sharp pines hanging out. Very witty. You can see through the bullshit and know what people are talking about or what they're getting at, what their true intentions are very quickly. And your 2 Moonology cards are... new moon in Gemini. There you go. Air sign. Communication is key. And you also have... Wow, full moon in Libra. A win-win outcome is forecast. This card has come out 3 times in these readings. So once again, a very strong communicator. Geminis being the best communicators in the zodiac, but also highly analytical. They like to bounce ideas off other people and are very fresh-minded. Like they like new challenges or new ideas, trying things from a different perspective. I was picking up on very strong Aquarian vibes, but Gemini also related to like your mind, your analytical mind and the way you see things and perceive things. Along with the star sign of Libra, the other 2 air signs in the zodiac are being very fair and just and kind and warm. This is a group that is highly perceptive, is very fun-loving, but wants to make sure that everyone around them is actually like as dedicated to the work, but also are feeling the joy and the love too, that are having a lot of fun, that are that things are fair at work, that no one is being treated less than. You really believe in equality at work too, and making you stand up for your own beliefs and make sure that everyone around you knows that you have strong values and that you won't tolerate any bullshit or any gossip or anything that's like less than like of the highest esteem for you, pile 5. But a group that can really do well in a lot of different modalities, you can adapt really quickly to new jobs and new changes. You're very mutable, like the star sign of Gemini. You can change very quickly into any job. So if you're not having fun or things aren't working out, you know that you have the skills to pick up a new job really quickly, and you can go anywhere and do whatever you like. So your colleagues can see that you can adapt in different work environments, and that you know that you can take on many different challenges and many different tasks and excel at anything, really, pile 5. That's all I have for you. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.